So the concepts of intension and hyperintension feature quite prominently in philosophy of language and formal semantics of language. The idea is that the intension of a statement corresponds, so the intension of a proposition, for example, corresponds to the set of possible worlds in which that proposition is true. That's quite a familiar model of meaning for many logicians, but it's known to suffer from some problems, most notably that statements that are necessarily equivalent still seem to mean different things. For instance, the statement that 2 + 2 is 4 seems to mean something different from the statement that Fermat's last theorem is true, even though, according to the standard model, the set of possible worlds in which they're true is identical. And that means that there are these so-called hyperintensional contexts or hyperintensional operators, such as Alice believes that 2 + 2 is 4 can be true, while Alice believes that Fermat's last theorem is true might be false, despite the fact, supposedly, you can substitute the expression 2 + 2 is 4 with the expression Fermat's last theorem is true without losing any kind of truth conditions. They're true under identical truth conditions. So that's the notion of hyperintension. And I'm going to claim that it's a useful concept when thinking about information processing in embodied cognition, and additionally that when we look at it through that lens, we get a different picture of it than the logicians do. I'm going to argue that the notion of hyperintentionality should be applicable to bacteria and robots just as much as it is to humans, so that it's not an intrinsically linguistic phenomenon or even one that relates to so-called higher cognition. I'm going to claim that when we look at information flow in adaptive behavior, we are going to need concepts that correspond both to intension and to hyperintension. And cognition in anything, any adaptive system, bacteria, robots, humans, colonies of ants, colonies of humans, right? All of those, it's worth looking at the sensorimotor information flow involved.